Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. And yes, this is another lesson in insanity. So I don't know if everyone has seen the whole United States Homeland Security partnering with elements of big tech, namely Twitter, Facebook, what's it called now, Meta, maybe Google, to police what they perceive as false information being quote unquote published on social media. But not just false information, true information, factual information that could be taken out of context and oppose what some would consider the political party in power. The Joe Rogan podcast did a great episode on that. Watched it. Very, very entertaining. I think it was his Halloween episode. Really good stuff. We call him the Oprah Winfrey for men, maybe. I don't know. But he had talked about it, the whole Homeland Security combining with Twitter. We'll see what happens with Twitter now that that may change. Twitter was just bad. Twitter is bad. I'm not even on Twitter. I've thought about getting onto Twitter now that things may change a little bit over there. I don't know. I'm still contemplating it. But you talk about false information, factual information that could be misleading, and you hear about the DOJ or quote unquote Homeland Security looking to police that. And obviously this is the Democrats. It's atypical. But on the flip side of the coin, and this really irks me, I tell you, it really does. This next issue that I'm going to talk about is when you get Joe Biden up there and he talks about his son, his dead son. Now, look, I get it. The loss of any child, I couldn't even fathom it. I really couldn't. And I know it's tough. It's brutal. No parent should outlive their children. But you hear Joe Biden get up there and he talks about his son, Beau Biden, being killed, quote unquote, killed in Iraq. His son was not killed in Iraq. His son died many years after serving in Iraq, came home, years later ends up getting brain cancer and then dying. Now, the reason Joe Biden says his son was killed in Iraq was because his son, who was not in a combat unit or anything of the sort, he was in the rear with the gear. But because he was around burn pits, or allegedly around burn pits, and this is a military officer, there's not a lot of officers around burn pits. But because he was near a burn pit, that's what gave him brain cancer. I mean, do you have any idea how many U.S. military personnel, including myself, was around a burn pit? And I don't think I have brain cancer. And a lot of U.S. troops don't have brain cancer or any other cancer from being around a burn pit. But that's beside the point. It's the fact that Joe Biden can get up there and in front of the entire country claim that his son was killed in Iraq. His son was not killed in Iraq. And when he says that, much of the dumbed down populace actually believes that he was killed in Iraq. I've heard it. I've heard the low information voter say, well, Joe Biden's son was killed in Iraq. He's a war hero. I beg your pardon? No, he was not killed in Iraq. He came home, got brain cancer, and then died. And then Hunter Biden, his other son, started having sex with his wife, Beau Biden's wife. That's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into that. Probably shouldn't have mentioned it, but I did. So there we go. On one side of the coin, the political party in power wants to police speech. They're in an uproar over Elon Musk buying Twitter. But the president can get up there and falsely claim his son was killed in Iraq and says those exact words, which are not true. Anyway, another lesson in insanity. Have a good day, folks.